starts to take over. You start feeling better, and you'll say, okay, what else can I add? And gradually, hopefully, you get yourself to 50, 60, 70%. And when you get to that point, you may not be perfect, but damn, you have a lot of energy and you feel a vitality that you've never felt before in your life. And that is the positive addiction.
Raw food is the best way to have the cleanest energy. You know, it's like we take so much care about what kind of fuel we put in our car, what kind of oil, this, that, and the other. Like our car, we really care about sometimes more than the fuel that we're looking at putting in our bodies. It's cleaner burning fuel.
A live food cuisine and lifestyle is a powerful way to heal both yourself, the ecology of the planet, and the consciousness of the planet.
The government has a lot to do with our beliefs, you know. I mean, they are pretty well controlling what we're told. I mean, the American Dairy Association, the American Meat Packers Association, I mean, they pretty well tell you that you have to have animal products to survive, and this just is not the truth.
How can you think logically that eating a dead animal can make you healthy, or to prolong your life, or to make you beautiful, or to give you energy? How can you think? I don't understand people's logic with this. Oh, I gotta have meat, you know, protein, you know, it's so high in protein. Yeah, but the body is paying such a high price by you eating this flesh. Uric acid, cholesterol, worms, fish too, chicken and turkey, same stuff, right? You are getting, you know, and also when the animal is slaughtered, you know, that adrenaline, the fear that goes through the animal. You don't think that the animal is knowing when it's going to get killed in the butcher house? It knows for sure, I am positive. And when you eat it, so you don't get just the cholesterol to clog your arteries, the uric acid, the fats, you know, the dead blood, and sometimes meat is sold and they color it and they put nitrates in it to look like fresh pink meat. It should be gray if they didn't do the preservatives and everything else. But the adrenal poisoning and all that crap you're taking in there, just to get some protein, and you can go to the plant world, raw nuts, avocados, grains, sprouted grains.
I truly believe that it's not a natural human instinct to eat dead flesh. It is a learned experience. If you were on a desert island and you hadn't eaten in weeks and weeks and weeks, and there was a dead cow floated up on the island and you had a bushel of apples, where do you think your instincts would take you? If we see a dying, sick animal, it isn't our response to pounce on it and eat it. It's to maybe take it to a vet, at the simple worst to step over it, but it isn't to pounce on it and eat it. My carnivorous dog, it is his natural instinct to eat dead flesh. So I think this myth that we live with, that we need protein for strong bones and to build teeth and hair, it's exactly what it is, and we've bought into it. Teachers in school get information from the big companies to teach you what you should eat, that you need the food pyramid. Fortunately, to agree, they are expanding this. They are adding more and more fruits and vegetables because people are realizing that they feel better. Even the American Cancer Society says that you shouldn't be eating so much red meat.
Why kill an animal so I can enjoy my meal? I think it's like, that is like a murderous thing. I mean, you know, if I didn't pay the butcher to buy a piece of steak or a piece of chicken or turkey, you know, if I didn't pay that money to get that food in the first place, there wouldn't be the demand on the butcher to kill that animal. So we have to take personal responsibility.
You know, we've kind of turned our back on local produce, and we've turned our back on local farmers and local people who use the community and rely on the community to make a living because of the convenience of a chain store. You know, we go to those places just because I can take care of all my shopping needs in one place. My brother, who is the biggest, cheapest human being on the face of the earth, and I love him more than anybody, he'll go to 7 stores when he shops, just because he'll go wherever he can get the best deal. And he'll go to one place and it's like, well, why would I buy tangerines there? Because over here, you know what? They're a nickel cheaper a pound. And he'll go to all these places, and especially during the summer, he'll go to the farmer's market and just buy those things that he could buy at a grocery store from the local farmers, because he knows that he's supporting his local economy. He's supporting people whose money is going to go right back into his own economy. And for me, I think that's the biggest thing that we should start to look at. Things that are grown naturally, things that are grown in your backyard. I think we've become so distanced from our food that we've lost sight of what real food is.
But I'll never forget an incident. I was at a party that I had catered, And they asked me to speak a little bit about my food, which was a raw food diet that I had catered. And there were a bunch of doctors there, and they had brought in 2 nutritionists to speak about health. And one of the biggest travesties was someone asked one of the nutritionists, is there a difference between organic and non-organic? And the nutritionist says, government studies have shown that there is absolutely no difference between organic and non-organic. I mean, how can you say this? Everybody knows now you can go to a farmer's market and pick up a strawberry and even taste a difference. You can see a difference. But government-controlled licensing says that there is no difference. And most of the people, because of all of the toxicity in their bodies, they're asleep. They don't stop and think that this doesn't compute, that this doesn't make sense. So what I say is the best thing to do is arm yourself with as much education as you can on every chance that you can, because we spend a lot of time on our education to learn about our cars, to learn about our occupations, but what about this, the most magnificent machine you'll ever be given? Spend your time educating yourself about the body. How many people knew the stomach was just a tiny little sac in there? We think of it as this whole area to fill up 3-4 times a day. If we educate ourselves and then we detox and cleanse, because that detoxing and cleansing, I'll come back to that, it's these layers of toxicity that are closing our minds, that are putting us to sleep so that we don't look at the reality of what's being said. So we just kind of take all this information as, we kind of sleepwalk through life, and then as we get sick, we sleepwalk even further. I'm saying, wake up.
There was a cook, and I think it was Jamie Oliver. I can't remember who it was, but I'm thinking it was Jamie Oliver in the UK. Went into a classroom with kids and blindfolded them. And he says, and I'm gonna have you guys, smell some things. Tell me what they are. So he blindfolds the kids, and the one kid smells it, and he goes, it's hand soap. Because it's hand soap. It's what you wash your hands with. And the other kid goes, no. It's dishwashing liquid. It's what you put in the dishwasher to wash your dishes. And they take the blindfold off, and the kids are sitting there staring at a lemon. So that this is what we associate these things with now. These odors, these things that are food products, are now byproducts. And it starts in the home. It starts with parents. It starts with what you pass down to your kids. I grew up in a house where my mother cooked dinner every single day. There was not a day. My mother, and it wasn't like she was a stay-at-home mom. She worked all day, and she came home and she cooked dinner because it was important. It was important to build this ritual of the family sitting down and having a meal together. And I think it's one of those things that it's so important for families to understand, especially kids, to see that food matters, to understand where food comes from. We had a garden in our backyard every summer. For as long as I can remember as a little kid, I'd be out there playing in the dirt, pulling carrots out of the ground and washing them off and eating them fresh out of the ground. Celery, cucumbers, tomatoes.